What if the secret to a calmer mind and longer life wasn't a pill, but a warm cup of tea? In the quiet corners of Japan, as the sun begins to fall behind the tiled rooftops and the sky turns indigo, something subtle and sacred begins. Elderly Japanese, many of them well into their 90s and still living with autonomy and presence, take a moment for something that, to them, is both ordinary and profound. They heat the water slowly. They choose the right leaves or toasted grains. They breathe in the steam before they sip. This is not just a drink. It is a ritual, a signal to the body. You are safe now. It's time to slow down. Modern life moves fast. Our nights are often filled with restless scrolling, late meals, or unfinished thoughts. But in Japan, especially among the long-lived elders of Okinawa and Kyoto, the rhythm slows when evening arrives. And in that softness, healing begins. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, Japan's legendary physician who lived to 105, believed that longevity had less to do with medicine and more with rhythm, especially the rhythm of daily rituals. How you end your day, he once said, shapes how long you live. And so tonight, I want to share with you one of Japan's gentlest but most powerful traditions, the evening tea. Not a trendy detox tea, not a supplement, but a time-honored, body-loving, mind-calming practice passed down through generations. In this video, you'll discover 5 traditional Japanese teas that go far beyond taste. Each one supports sleep, eases digestion, and calms the nervous system. And most importantly, you'll learn how to turn this habit into a sensory experience, using temperature, aroma, silence, and timing to gently prepare your body for a deeper, more restorative night's sleep. You don't need anything fancy, just warm water, a humble tea, and the willingness to pause. Imagine a tea with no caffeine, a naturally sweet aroma, and a gentle taste of roasted grains. Now imagine it becoming part of your evening, not just as a beverage, but as a moment of grounding. This is Mujika. Mujika, or roasted barley tea, is one of the most beloved non-caffeinated drinks in Japan, especially during warmer months. But what many don't know is that in colder regions and among the elderly, it's also used as an evening tea to calm the nerves and regulate the heart. Unlike green tea, which contains caffeine, Mujika is completely caffeine-free. It's made by roasting barley grains until they turn a deep golden brown, then steeping them in hot water. The result is a warm, nutty infusion with mild sweetness, like the smell of fresh bread or toasted rice. But its real power lies in its effects on the nervous system. Traditional Japanese medicine views Mujika as a cooling and grounding tea. In the language of Kampo, it balances excess heat in the body, associated with stress, anxiety, and high blood pressure. Modern research supports this. Studies have found that Mujika contains antioxidants and lignans that may help reduce inflammation and support vascular health, especially useful for aging hearts. Elderly Japanese often sip it in the evening, not just for hydration, but for its soothing properties. The gentle warmth signals the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest and digestion, that it's time to settle down. The ritual of brewing Mujika itself is calming. The crackle of grains when roasted, the earthy scent rising with the steam, the simple act of holding a warm cup. These micro moments are a kind of meditation, a way to tell the body, you're home, you're safe, you can rest now. If you want to try this, start simple. Use 1 tablespoon of roasted barley. Steep it in hot water, not boiling, for 5 to 7 minutes. Strain and drink warm, preferably 1 hour before bedtime. Let it be more than tea. Let it be a doorway from a busy day into a quiet night. If Mujika is the comfort of roasted warmth, then Genmeika is the embrace of balance. Genmeika, often called popcorn tea in the West, is a unique blend of green tea leaves and toasted brown rice. It has a distinct, toasty aroma, reminiscent of hearth and harvest, and a light green hue that reflects both freshness and grounding. But to the Japanese, it's far more than a quirky flavor. Genmeika is a tea of balance, between energy and calm, alertness and rest. This tea holds a special place in Japanese households, especially among the elderly. It's often drunk in the late afternoon or early evening, as a gentle transition from the brightness of the day into the softness of the night. The toasted rice lowers the caffeine content of the green tea, making it gentler on the heart and easier on the nerves. And it's precisely this balance of stimulation and serenity that makes Genmaica ideal before bed, especially for those who still want clarity of thought without the restlessness. Traditional medicine in Japan views Genmaica as a harmonizer, a tea that supports digestion, calms the mind, and brings the body into rhythmic alignment. This is crucial for older adults, whose digestion and energy levels are more delicate. It's common to see older Japanese drink Genmaica after an early dinner, often in silence, as they prepare for an early bedtime. Modern studies show that Genmaica retains the L-theanine and catechins found in green tea, which help reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone that can disrupt sleep and increase anxiety. Meanwhile, the toasted rice provides gamma-resinol, a compound known to support heart health and reduce nervous tension. The preparation is simple. Use 1 teaspoon of Genmaica per cup. Heat water to about 80 degrees Celsius, not boiling. Steep for 2 to 3 minutes, strain, and sip slowly. The aroma is gentle, like warm grain fields on a quiet afternoon. The taste is soft and earthy, with a slight umami undertone. More importantly, it encourages slowness. With every sip, you're invited to breathe deeper, to lengthen your exhale, to sit for just a moment longer. Genmaica is sometimes described as a tea for thinking. It doesn't demand attention, but gently clears space in the mind. And for those approaching sleep, especially in the second half of life, this space is not just welcome, it's necessary. Try it tonight, not to fix your sleep, but to welcome it, the way the Japanese do, with balance in your breath and warmth in your hands. Deep in the mountains of Japan, where cedar forests whisper and mist rolls over mossy stones, grows a tea not found in most shops. Yamacha, or wild mountain tea, is harvested by hand in remote areas and used primarily by elders in traditional villages. It's not part of modern cafe menus. It doesn't come in glossy packaging. And yet, for those who drink it, it offers something rare, a sense of deep connection to earth, to breath, and to inner stillness. Yamacha is not a single plant, but a term used for teas made from native, uncultivated herbs. These may include leaves from wild camellia, mulberry, or kuromoji, a native spice bush known for its calming properties. Unlike green or black tea, Yamacha is often caffeine-free, making it ideal for evening use, especially in colder seasons or after emotional days. Traditionally, villagers would collect these leaves after the rain, dry them under the sun, and store them for long winters. At night, a small handful would be boiled slowly, creating a rich, woodsy brew with notes of pine, citrus, and soil. For the elders who drink it, this tea is more than flavor. It's memory and medicine, a way to reconnect with something older and wiser than the self. In Campo, Yamacha is seen as a tea of grounding and emotional regulation. Many are known to lower blood pressure, reduce anxiety, and relax the central nervous system. One common ingredient is kuromoji, a fragrant shrub whose oils have been studied for anti-anxiety and sleep-promoting effects. To brew Yamacha in traditional style, use a generous pinch of wild leaves or bark. Place in a small pot with 2 cups of water. Bring to a slow simmer and let steep for 10 to 15 minutes. Strain and drink warm, ideally under dim light, in silence. You may not live near a forest, but with a cup of Yamacha, you can bring the forest home. Let it remind you you are part of nature, and nature knows how to rest. Among Japan's lesser-known green teas, there's one that quietly stands apart, not for its flavor, but for its extraordinary effect on the body and brain. This is benafuki, a tea cultivated primarily in southern Japan, and cherished by elders for its cleansing, clarifying, and anti-allergic properties. This tea is especially rich in methylated catechins, antioxidant compounds that reduce inflammation, stabilize histamine levels, and support clear breathing and mental calm, especially helpful for people suffering from nighttime allergies or congestion that disrupts sleep. Benafuki does more than clear the nose. It also clears the mind. To brew, use 1 teaspoon of loose benafuki tea per cup. Heat water to about 80 degrees Celsius. Steep for 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Sip slowly, focusing on the breath. Imagine ending your day with the sensation. No rush, no mental clutter, just the soft warmth of tea and the widening space between thoughts. Long before sleep supplements filled modern pharmacies, the Japanese were already brewing their own remedies. Kampo teas, therapeutic herbal blends used in traditional Japanese medicine, gently guide the body back to balance. A common blend includes licorice root, jujube fruit, magnolia bark, and chrysanthemum petals. Each one plays a role: to soothe, to nourish, to calm, to cool. Another key herb is Swan Zaorun, known for promoting deep sleep and reducing nighttime awakenings. Use 1 to 2 teaspoons of a dried blend. Let it steep for 10 minutes or more. Strain and drink in quiet. Many Kampo herbs impact GABA receptors in the brain, supporting calm without dependency. True sleep doesn't come from force. It comes from surrender. Kampo teas teach us to do exactly that. Tonight, we've walked through more than just 5 types of tea. We've stepped into an ancient rhythm, one that asks less of us and gives more in return. The Japanese elders who sip their teas by moonlight aren't chasing sleep. They're receiving it. So tonight, ask yourself not what tea you'll drink, but how you'll drink it. If this video spoke to you, subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment and tell us, which tea are you most excited to try? And don't forget to watch our next video, where we reveal the secret Japanese technique that reduces nighttime anxiety in just 3 breaths. Sleep gently, lie fully, and always sip slowly.